All right. Thank you very much. Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Can you all hear me? No, they can't hear me. Let's get the mic on. That's okay. But while you're turning my mic on, I'll put my butt towards her. I just want to give a quick shout out to all the organizers here. Denung 365. It's wonderful to finally put a face to the name. I've attended many of his events in the last few years and finally get to meet you. Thank you so much. And of course to Dimitri and Marcos, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate for you guys inviting me. I am not a digital nomad. Oh, is that better? Okay, there we go. Yeah. We don't need this, do we? Okay, I'll just use this. I am not a digital nomad. I'm an expat. I've spent more than half my life overseas, first as a United States Air Force, and then as an international hotel manager, and then I was working in finance and real estate. And before I get to what I'm doing now, I want to thank you all for coming to my city of Da Nang. I've been here for 3 years. This is now my city too, with everyone else. And what is happening here in Vietnam is truly remarkable. And I'm glad many of you I've met. This is your first time in Vietnam, and I hope you get to see it firsthand. Because after spending 7 years in China and seeing the magic that happened there, after zero COVID, it's all coming here. According to the Chinese government, they just released their new numbers. Over $500 billion in FDI, that's foreign direct investment, is leaving China. Last year, they did less than $5 billion in FDI. That's a 99% drop. That money has to come somewhere, and it is coming here, to Vietnam, to Thailand, to ASEAN, to India, to the United States, to Europe, everywhere. So I work with many companies here in the city. I work with many of small businesses, a lot of startups, and they're all vying for this money. And the money is coming from international investors, angel investors from Dubai, from Singapore. And I've talked with them. I've had lunch with these billion-dollar investors, and they all say they want to invest Philippines, Thailand, and here. So I hope you get to see we are just on the cusp of something truly magical here in ASEAN. So come back, not just bring your tourist dollars, but bring your knowledge, your motivation, your drive, and help this part of the country grow. Thank you. Now, with that being said, what do I do? Okay, like I said, I'm not a digital nomad. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's more of like a hobby, a vlog. I have a LinkedIn page. I don't sell anything online. I'm a professor of management and media studies at Swinburne University of Technology right here in Da Nang. My research is in mindfulness in business practices of cross-cultural organizations. So as a researcher, my job is basically to observe and report. So I hope that maybe you, whatever it is you do in your life, in your business, online or in person, you can take away some of the insights that I might be able to share with you today. I'll start with a quick story. Like I said, I used to live in China, and when I first went there 10 years ago, I had an audition for a lectureship at Sun Yat-sen University in Guangzhou. And I really, really wanted this job. Before that, I had only been teaching at corporations. I was a corporate trainer. Like I said, I was a hotel manager, but I wanted this job. I wanted to work in an academic setting. And if you don't know, if you're not familiar with academics, the first audition lecture can be quite intimidating. And I went to this giant lecture hall with 300 people, 300 students. With them were professors and PhDs and school administrators and many, many members of the Communist Party. If you're familiar with China, you know what that means. They have to approve of me. I worked very, very hard, was very well prepared. I had slides, I had dual projectors, I had my microphone was tested, and most importantly, I had air conditioning, because when you go for one of these, you got to wear a suit and tie. This is the middle of the summer in Guangzhou. Right before I got up on stage, though, the power went out. There's no power. All of a sudden, all my preparations were gone. I had no slides. I had no lights. I had no air conditioning. So I started to sweat through my suit. It was visible. It was very uncomfortable.
And the audience was looking at me thinking, okay, what is he going to do? Let's see what this stupid American can do. And they were all sweating too, but they also were used to it. This is a very old university. The power goes out quite often. So I later found out that this was a common occurrence, and they wanted to see how I would handle it. So I had two choices. I could either panic or I can go for it. So I said, fuck it, I'm going for it. And I did. And for the next hour, I spoke without any visual aids. I don't even remember what the content was, but it doesn't matter. I was running up and down the aisles. I was engaging with the audience. I was asking questions. I was asking rhetorical questions. I killed it. It was one of the best lectures of my life. And what I learned from that was it does not matter what your product or service is as much as you. You are what matters, and your connection with the audience. So with that, let's get into some of the insights I might have for you. Communication is not a choice, but how we communicate is. It is impossible to not communicate. Everything that we do communicates something. Every time you step out of your house, you are giving a presentation. You don't have to stand on stage to give a presentation. You walk out your front door, you are presenting yourself to the world. How mindful are you about how you are presenting yourself? Like I said, everything is communicable. Everyone might be familiar with the concept of the communications model. If you take Communications 101 in university, you might see this: sender, encoding, messenger, decoding, receiver, and of course, noise. Noise can be anything. Now, but what we fail to recognize is that the medium in which we are sending our messages is not always the words that we speak. It is not always the text of an email. It is everything. Whether it's an animate object or an inanimate object, it is communicating something. Everything in this room, this screen, this chandelier, those chairs, the color of this carpet. David, where's David? David, I saw you were wearing Vibram 5-finger shoes. Thank you very much. I love the Vibram 5 fingers. I run in them all the time. Watch out for the plantar fasciitis, though. So even the clothes that we wear communicate something. For example, take a look at me. Okay. Earlier today, I was wearing a blazer because I'm used to coming to academic conferences where people are wearing, $1,000 suits, and I looked out and I'm like, okay, I need to dress it down a little bit in this crowd. I love that it's a little more casual, all right? But why do I wear glasses? I don't need them. I don't use them when I drive my car. Now, I'm an old man, so I need them to read. But when I'm giving a speech or a talk, I don't need them. Why do I wear them? Makes me look smarter. Yeah. Why do I wear a watch? I don't need it. I'm very aware of the time. It's in my pocket. It's on my iPhone. Why do I wear a watch? Because it communicates something. It communicates to you that time and punctuality are very important to me. Why do I wear this? Because if I don't... Give her a round of applause for that one. That was really good. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you very much. Because if we don't wear it, our wives will kill us, right? That's right. But all of these things, the denotation of everything that I've talked to you about, eyeglasses, a timepiece, jewelry, that's all it is the denotation. However, the connotation is what truly matters. The glasses make me look smart. The watch makes me look punctual. The ring not only communicates to all the ladies in the room that I am taken. My wife very much appreciates that. In fact, today she told me, don't forget to wear your ring. But in business, if you're meeting someone for the first time, this can communicate to them, hey, there's somebody that when I go home at the end of the day, at the end of the night, there's someone there that can stand the son of a bitch. Adds a little trust. That is the connotation that inanimate objects give you. All right, let's move on to it. We all know about the 80-20 rule. There are all these ratio rules. This is a very famous study. A lot of this comes from 1971, the 738 rule. Basically, it states 7% of all communication is verbal, the words that you say, right? 38% is the tone of your voice. Not just the tone of your voice, but the tone of your presentation. 55% is body language, and that's not just how you move your body. That is how you present your visual image to the world. Now, what does this mean? This means that more than half of all communication that you give happens before you say a word. I'm standing up here, I'm communicating to all of you. There's words, there's images coming at you. But from that perspective coming to me, there's a barrage of information hitting me. You are all communicating something to me right now. The way you look, you're nodding a little bit, right? The way you're sitting, right? The Vibram 5-finger shoes. I can tell if you're interested or if you're just waiting for dinner, okay? That is the power of communication. It's not just the words you say, it is everything. Your presence is your pitch. What do I mean by that? Have you ever walked into a room have someone else walk into a room and you feel their presence right away? They don't say anything. You have that feeling, right? I saw this a lot as a hotel manager in Hollywood. Celebrities would walk in, famous people. I didn't know who they were, but everyone else did. They didn't say a word, but immediately got my attention. It's when the President of the United States comes up to you, shakes your hand, looks you straight in the eye, and says, "Vote for Hillary." True story. It's amazing. This is the attitude. This is the presence you must bring to every presentation that you give, whether it be online, on a Zoom call, on stage, or having coffee with a friend. When you walk out that door, this is the presence you must command within your own psyche in order to be successful at it. So I'd like you all to do something for me. Stand up. Thank you very much. Stand up. And let's take a look at how you stand. Ooh, I love this one. She's wide open like this. That's great. Okay, how else do we stand? Hands behind your side. Okay, I see hands in pockets. You're trying to hide something, sir. What are you doing? Okay. No, okay. We got hands in your pockets over here. Hands behind your back. What are you hiding from me? Okay, no. All right. Thank you very much. Sit down, everybody. The way we stand, research tells us that when you have an open body language, you are more confident. You feel more confident. That's what we want to do. We want to give you the tools and the mindset and the mindfulness to become more confident when you're speaking with somebody online or in person. A study in 2006 shows that the way we vary our tone and our pitch, not just in our voice, but in our body language, allows us to remember 42% longer than those who don't do this. Do this for me. We're all going to sing together. Want to sing a song real quick? Maybe you know this song. Okay, just one quick verse. Okay. Follow along with me. Sing with me if you know it. Nothing's going to change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much. Thank you very much. Well done. Why is it that you can remember the words from that song, but you can't remember a one-paragraph author bio on your own page? Why is it that you can remember that song? Well, it comes from tone. Pitch and rate causing melody makes you more memorable. So, here are the 5 pillars of your vocal delivery. First one is volume. If I can't hear you, it doesn't matter what you say. You know what I'm talking about, right? People talk like this. What? Okay. Next, of course, is rate. This is how fast you speak. If it's something very important, you slow the fuck down. If it's something not very important, then you can speed up and nobody can understand what you're talking about because you're talking too fast. Then you have pitch. This is speaking very high, hello, it's good to see you all, and very low. Think of archetypes, vocal archetypes. When a policeman tells you to stop, how do they tell you to stop? Stop. No. Hold it. Stop right there. If you're an MC, anyone's an MC? We got some MCs right over here. I work with MCs, okay? You have your MC vocal archetype. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disneyland. I don't go home and talk to my 8-year-old daughter like that. Jolly, did you do your homework tonight? No. You put rate and pitch together, you get your melody. You get your melody, which makes you more memorable. Anyone have a puppy dog? You have a puppy dog, right? How do you talk to your puppy dog? Oh my God, look at him. He is adorable. She's adorable. Sorry about that, okay? We don't have any gender-neutral pronouns for dogs yet, okay? Okay, very good. All right. Well, if you have a puppy dog, right, how do you talk to your puppy dog? Come here, little boy. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. We're going to go to the vet and get a shot. Yeah, let's go. Dog's like, yeah. Dog doesn't know what the words you're saying, but it knows your energy. It's that transference of energy. That's what you need to bring. A pause, the power of the pause. Everyone just be silent for a second. Feel that? A lot of people will be very uncomfortable with that pause. You need to be comfortable with silence. This does two things. Number one, it gives you a little bit of suspense in what you're going to say. Because if I pause right before I say something, it is, I have your attention. See what I mean? Okay? The other thing it does is it allows the audience to process the information you just gave. A lot of people will give a presentation, they talk really fast, they try to get as much information in. The abundance of information does not equal the effectiveness. Be concise and occasionally pause. The most important one is tonality. Tonality is the emotion in your voice. If you are happy, your audience will feel it. If you're having a good time, the audience will feel it. If you're sad, the audience will feel it. I have a hack for you. Simple hack, it is the smile. The smile is the universal sign of friendship. I have walked down some of the most dangerous streets in the world where people want to kill me, right, Pittman? And if I smile at them, they smile right back. Telemarketers, when they call you and say, hey, do you want to buy a new apartment in FPT City? They have a mirror that they're looking at them with a sign that says smile. These are not micro expressions, they're micro vocals. When you smile, when you talk, our ears can pick that up, and we can hear the friendly voice on the other end of the line. Do this for me. Turn to the person next to you, and with a smile, introduce yourself. Do it for me right now. Do it. I love it. Feel the love in this room. I got the 2-minute line, so I got to go real fast. Okay. Remember to stand up and shout. One last thing I'm going to tell you about. Thank you very much. When we tell stories. Thank you very much. Okay. You can get the phone number later, okay? There's going to be a party later. Facts tell, but stories sell. The problem is that when I ask somebody to tell me a story, they don't know what to say. We all have millions of stories, but we cannot summon them off the top of our head. So what do we do? What do we do about it? You must start a story bank. And now you can do this in many ways. You can journal it. This group has no need for me to tell you this. You can put it on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, do a live stream. Anything that records anything weird, funny, entertaining story of your life, record it. That story about my Chinese lecture blackout, I forgot about that, but I recorded it in a live stream 8 years ago. And when I was preparing for this talk, I was like, oh, I could probably use that. That is the power of a story bank. I got to move on. One-on-one, if you're pitching one-on-one, you have to make it personal. This is where storytelling really shines. Watch the person's body movement. If they're turning and looking for an exit, you've lost them. But if they're leaning in, you've got them. That's a green light. Go for it. When you're speaking to 1,000, however, it's a little bit harder. You cannot have a conversation with 1,000 people. So what do? Instead, you focus on universal themes. Think of a comedian. A stand-up comedian gets a whole room laughing. How? By concentrating on universal themes, things that we all can relate to. And that's how you get the audience to engage with whatever it is that you're selling. The best pitches, however, if you're pitching one-on-one, the best pitches don't feel like a pitch. They feel like a conversation with a friend. I learned that from my good friend Payman. All right. Last thing, visual aids. Visual aids. On this stage today, I've seen great visual aids. They've been very zen. They've been very minimal. I love that. If your slides are too complicated, people are going to be concentrating on reading and not listening to what you have to say. People are not here to read your slides. They're here to listen to you. If the slides go out or you don't have any visual aids, create one. Here, what is this? No, it's a knife. I put two together and I got chopsticks. I have you, me together. We can have a little conversation. Anything can be a visual aid. So if the power goes out, use what's right in front of you. Use your fingers. Everything can be a visual aid. I got to move on because I'm running out of time. Jeez. Last one I'll leave you with is authenticity. In a world of AI content being generated constantly, it is flooding social media. Attention is an important commodity, but there's more and more things out there vying for your attention. How do you stand apart? Having an authentic voice. If you're humorous, use humor. If you're a data-driven person, own that. If you say fuck, be the person that says fuck. There's nothing wrong with that. Be your authentic, confident self, and that is what's going to differentiate you from the rest. And last thing I'll leave you before we get into the Q&A is my father gave me some great advice. I grew up ADD dyslexic, and if you don't know what ADD is, it means I can't concentrate on one thing before I move on to something else. Oh, I'm having such a great time, look at the kitty. That was my life growing up. And then my father wrote this on the door of my bedroom, said, follow through is the bridge between hard work and success. Follow through is what ties everything together. When a marathon runner runs a marathon, he doesn't run 25.5 miles and then quits at the very end. Marathon runners, sprinters, they run through that shit. A baseball player, when he swings a bat, he doesn't stop the swing as soon as the ball hits the bat. No, he swings through it. The same thing happens in business and in life. If you make a sale, they sign on the dotted line, you're not done. If you get married and you put that ring on, guess what? You're not done. I am learning this. Follow through is the bridge between everything. It's what's going to see your success all the way through to the end. And remember, if the power does go out, you don't need it because you are the one that will be lighting up the room. Thank you. With that being said, do we have any questions for me? No questions. Oh, we got David. Sam, good to see you, buddy. How you doing, man?
My question is, what do you think is the most important body language to pay attention to?
Great question. Facial expressions. Definitely. When people look at your body, they look from here up. They don't look at your feet. However, you can see what people are doing if they just do this. The girl does this, you know what's going on up there, right? So every part of your body communicates something. But any of you, gentlemen, if you go over to your girlfriend or your wife's mother's house for dinner and they serve you dinner, right? And you go, here, do you like this? And you go, yeah, it's great. Micro expressions are hard to control. This is why poker players wear hats and sunglasses to hide their facial expressions to give it away.
Yeah, and what about the, as we call the RBF?
What is the RBF?
Resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah, well. Of course, my wife does not have that. With all communications, you have something called the noise, and the noise is most of the noise in interpersonal communication comes from perception. How do people perceive it? So one person might see resting bitch face, and the other person might not see that. They see the most beautiful woman in the world. So my wife doesn't have that. She's a beautiful woman. I swear to God, I'll show you a picture of her. She's watching at home. Hi, honey. All right. Love you. Don't poison my dinner. All right, anything else? Yes, David. 我的中文名字是大力。
很高兴认识你。
好的。
My question is for particularly. 你是 pen 我也是一点点。For people who are very, very unconfident, what would you say would be the first step for them, not verbally, but non-verbally, to allow them to gain that verbal confidence?
Good question. There's a couple of things I can suggest. The first one is fake it. Yeah, it's like an act. Right? If you fake like you're confident, then guess what? You're confident. The other one that was good for me, because I used to be very shy. I'm an introvert, just like one of our first speakers this morning was very introverted. I'm very much introverted. I go home and I open my books. I'm in bed by 8:30. Okay. Do karaoke. I'm not kidding. In America, when you go to a karaoke bar, you sing to hundreds of people. It's scary as all fuck. You get up there and you start singing. You go, okay, what's a good song? Sweet Caroline, right? And there it is. Okay. And you're scared because you think everyone's going to be, boo, get off the stage, you suck. You could be the worst singer in the world, but when you get off that stage, people are high-fiving you. Great job, good to see you. Here, let me buy you a beer. It's a wonderful feeling, and you come back again and again and again. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And at the end of the day, this talk was only 25 minutes. It's only 25 minutes of my life. I was nervous as shit before I came up here, but I feel great now, man.